SBMM wasn't a thing, I would stream multiplayer. SBMM is I dare say killing video games.
They don't have that shit SBMM in the game.
These are the people who are like, oh, let's go with the crowd and let's just start some new trend to go against SBM to be supporting SBMM.
Let's join the crowd. That's where all these little gremlins just pop out of nowhere, right? These clueless idiots just pop out of nowhere. I feel like only content creators and streamers are the ones that are complaining about SBMM. Wake the fuck up.
What is up, guys? I'm Stevie. Welcome back to the channel where we upload the most average content on YouTube. I hope you guys are having a great weekend as always. And in today's video, we are going to talk about whether or not skill-based matchmaking is good for Call of Duty. But before we get there, I got merch out. And as you guys probably know, I'm across basically all platforms. So I have a link down in the description that has all of the links to all of my social media. So if you want to go follow, sub across all platforms, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to cop some merch as well, that would be fantastic. Helps me out big time. You guys are amazing. But yeah, so today's video, skill-based matchmaking. You guys have, if any of you are on other platforms, you guys have seen it's basically like the hot topic right now with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You have streamers and casual players basically fighting. People are debating whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. People have there are people who are literally saying they're not playing this Call of Duty because of it. So let's talk about that, because I think it's a really important part of the community, and it's something that I feel it could have a big impact on the player base and how many people are going to continue playing Call of Duty from here on out. I've seen people making videos talking about how this could be their last Call of Duty because they're that upset with skill-based matchmaking. So I'm going to break this up into a few parts. First part, we're going to talk about what is skill-based matchmaking. So skill-based matchmaking, it's in the name. It's supposed to match you up with people at your skill level. The challenge with that is Call of Duty's way of doing it I don't think is necessarily the most efficient, and it's not even their fault. I don't know if there is an efficient way to do this. So skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty, as far as I understand it, is they pair you up with people based on your KD, score per minute, win rate. Things like this impact what kind of lobbies you're going to get into. And from there, you know, it's going to put you with people who are supposed to be within that similar range. So that makes sense if there was an even distribution of players, but there's not. If you were to make like a pie chart to show what percentage of players fit into these ranges for KD, for example, you would have a large amount of the player base that would be considered casual players. I believe the biggest KD ratio, I believe, is somewhere around it's like 0.6 to 0.9 is where like 60% of Call of Duty players fit into, which makes sense to me. And so skill-based matchmaking for that makes sense. It's easy to just pull all these people together. There's a bunch of matches. There's always going to be people available to put into these matches. It's going to feel fair. But from there are people below, and let's be honest, skill-based matchmaking isn't going to help these people. If you have like a 0.3 KD and you're trying, no hate. I'm not. If you're just playing for fun, we got little kids. We got people who they don't really care that much. They're just playing for fun. There's not really going to be much for optimizing your competitiveness because you're not playing competitively anyways. But let's think about the people above that. So what I've noticed as a person who, the last Call of Duty I grinded out was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. And I had around a 2.0 KD. The back half of it, the back third, I probably had like a 2.5 because my KD was pretty low before I really committed to it. And I brought it to a 2.0. And math says that means I had higher than a 2.0 for a long time. So for me, I feel like I'm always in lobbies with the best of the best. And the reason that happens is the amount of people between what I talked about earlier, the 0.6 to 0.9 or like the 0.7 to 1.0. There's a lot of people, and those are all pretty close together in skill. Above that, there's not a ton of people in each specific increment. You can't go up 0.3 KD and inside there's millions of players. What happens is, basically, if you have above like a 1.3, I feel like you're with anyone from 1.3 to 5.0. You are going to find yourself in lobbies with people that you're legitimately going to wonder if they're hacking. I have a friend who I play with all the time. The first time I played with him, I was certain certain he was hacking. But no, he's just a guy who streams every day. He practices his aim every single day for an hour at least every day playing this game, and he is significantly better than me. But I get in his lobbies every single time because I don't join up on him. He likes to solo queue. He likes to play by himself. So if I'm playing and he's online, I end up in his matches because we are put in the same pool, even though he's significantly better than I will ever be. And I've experienced that a lot with people who are even better than him, people that probably make him wonder, why am I in this lobby? So the problem with skill-based matchmaking, how it works, is you need a distribution of players. But if 50% of the players are casual and 50% of the players are between 1.3 and 5.0, that means that for the competitive players, they're going to be in this big gap, this huge skill gap, and that's exactly what the casual players don't want. So to say, well, I don't want to play sweats. Well, I don't want to play a 4.0 KD player as someone who has a 1.9 or a 2.0. Just as if you have a 0.7, you don't want to play someone with a 2.0. So it's I don't see how it's any different personally. So yeah, so that's how skill-based matchmaking works in Call of Duty. And next, what I want to talk about is how it applies to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, because I think that's the reason this is such like a hot button issue, is because this game is a little different than past Call of Duties. The perk system is different. The weapon grinding is different, and time to kill is very fast. These are all things that I've talked about in my last video where I talked about whether or not you should buy Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, so go check out that video if you want more breakdown on that stuff. But simply put, the gun leveling takes forever, it's very complicated, and it requires a lot of grinding, and the time to kill is extremely fast, and so as a result, I feel like the skill-based matchmaking matters even more, because in movement, that's the other thing. Movement is slower, so it's harder. You can't really, movement combined with TTK makes it so that gunfights are a lot of just walking around corners. I'm crouch walking so no one can hear me, and someone's going to run, and I'm going to kill them before they even have a chance to react. So that makes the game, like, it just feels like you have to try your life out just to have any fun. Like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, I would hop on that game. I could play 20 matches and maybe get frustrated once, but Modern Warfare 2, even when I'm doing good, I could have a game where I'm go off for 50 kills with a 2.0 KD, and I'm like, I'm not having fun. I'm miserable, because even if I want to survive, I basically have to mount up a corner. I have to walk around, because if I run around a corner and someone's already in a window watching, I'm dead. Even if I have crazy good reaction time, crazy good accuracy, time to kill is less than a second for basically every gun from all ranges. It's just insane. So I feel like skill-based matchmaking has become so problematic in this game specifically for that reason, because now it's like no one, I don't even know if the casual players are having fun. So if you're a casual player and you love skill-based matchmaking, let me know how your lobbies feel. Let me know if you are enjoying it, because that brings me into my next point, that it's almost like a style of play problem more than it is a skill-based matchmaking problem. So I feel like the game has catered to more of a casual player base more than just having skill-based matchmaking in the game. I feel like the style of play feels very like, come home from work, I can just walk around, shoot my gun, everything's great. Outside of the gun leveling, because the gun leveling is just like, it is insane. I don't know who thought the gun leveling would be a good idea. But anyways, so I feel like the style of play in this game already favored casual players, and I feel like it bridged the skill gap enough that I personally don't think skill-based matchmaking is even needed, because before it made sense, because so let's just say, in Modern Warfare 2019, I was pretty good at slide canceling. I could bunny hop. I like to snipe. And when you have a sniper in a game where time to kill is slower, and for a sniper it's a one-shot kill to the head, I could use movement. I can use my reaction time. That if you're a below-average player, it's not going to go well for you. Now, if I jump around a corner with a sniper, you more times than not, you're going to be able to kill me, because even if I am accurate, I have to locate you. You were already watching the corner that I jumped around. So I feel like if you were to put casual players in lives with these sweaty players, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference as much, because you can't YY, bunny hop, slide cancel around the map like crazy and cracked out movement. You can't do these things. A lot of it is still going to be holding corners, holding windows, slow-paced play. So I feel like that makes it so skill-based matchmaking might not be as needed, and which leads me to my final point. I feel like what they need to do for skill-based matchmaking is take out this idea of KDs, take out basing it on KDs. I think the only time that I feel like it's really problematic for the casual player base is when people are stacking. So if you are stacking, there should be some sort of metrics that Call of Duty can use to pair you up with people on your level. Like, as close as Call of Duty can manage. It's still not going to be perfect. Nothing in Call of Duty is ever going to be perfect. But I feel like if I just solo queue and I'm a really good player and I have 5 teammates that are assortment of talent and the other team is an assortment of talent, you're gonna have good games, bad games, mediocre games. That's what Call of Duty is supposed to be. You're gonna play some games where you get destroyed, you learn some things, you apply it to your next game, maybe you do really good. But when you're stacking, I feel guilty when I 6-stack with my friends and we just roll over a team. Especially in Modern Warfare 2019. We'd have a VTOL up the whole game, an advanced UAV up the whole game. We're talking like it's a game of hardpoint, and we can sit there and rack up. We look at the scoreboard at the end of the game. I have 80 kills. My friend has 90. He dropped a nuke, and my friend he has 50. My other friend went 40 and 2. Like it's crazy how I feel like when you stack, the skill-based matchmaking doesn't even seem to work as strong as it does when you're not stacking. I feel like it almost just kind of picks a player on your team and kind of tries its best. But with stacking, I feel like that's the most important time, because it's basically you have a full team, you can communicate. If you have a team, if you have 6 people that are all around the same skill level, it should be easier to skill-based matchmake. But I feel like it doesn't happen as strong. So that's my opinion. So this is coming from around a 2.0 KD player. Not sure what my KD is in my Warfare 2. I've just been gun grinding. But coming from me, I feel like we should go back to where there's an array of talent across, your lobbies. It's basically random unless you're stacking. Because stacking 6 people to just wipe across casual people coming home from their 9 to 5 to just have some fun honestly, it gets boring for me. So that's not me just saying that for the sake of the casual players. I have more fun in competitive matches. It's not that I want... that's the hardest part. There's a fine line between you feel like you're just getting dogged on by some people who are way better than you and feeling like it's a match that's competitive. It feels like you have to try, and you can't just walk around with your gun, but you have to, you're not getting you don't have to sweat like you're in the CDL playing for $1 million. So yeah, that's my opinion. Please feel free to blast me in the comments if you feel that my opinion is crazy, or let me know if you agree. I would love to have a discussion about it. I actually just launched my Discord the other day, so that's also in the link tree down in the description. I would love to fill that up and have discussions with you guys, maybe find people to play with, and share loadouts, things like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like. Until next time, guys, peace.